The city of Winter Garden pledges investment into its East Side community. Township of Oakland lowers taxes. The selling of pets causes controversy in Ocoee. And the little church in West Orange brings big aid to Louisiana. The date is September 23rd, 2021, and we're going to go through these stories and more. Welcome to West Orange on the Go. My name is Austin Arthur, and this is where we do local news and comment. And when I say local news, I mean hyper-local. West Orange, this is your news. We begin in 10 seconds.
You're listening to West Orange on the Go. Brought to you by the West Orange Times and Observer. Hosted by Austin Arthur. West Orange on the Go.
The great city of Winter Garden took another step toward finalizing its next fiscal plan with the second of 3 budget hearings during its September 15th City Commission meeting. Commissioners approved ordinances appropriating and allocating all revenue from the city's general fund and Community Redevelopment Agency for fiscal year 2021-2022. City Manager Mike Bullhofer discussed a CRA pledge of $500,000 for capital projects primarily dedicated to the redevelopment of 10th and Center Streets. 75% of the CRA earnings are to be spent for the redevelopment of EastWinterGarden. Additional projects for the next fiscal year include an expansion of the city's pickleball courts and a spay and neuter program, including the catch and release of stray animals. The city also approved many special events occurring in the next coming months. Among them is the community favorites, Light Up Winter Garden on December 3rd and the Christmas Parade on December 4th. Homeowners in the town of Oakland will be happy to hear their property tax rate will be decreasing again. The Oakland Town Commission is lowering its millage rate for the fiscal year 2021-2022 budget. Mayor Kathy Stark states, quote, "We made a commitment to start to lower our millage, and we have kept that commitment. I am very proud that we have been able to do this, and we will continue to try to do this every year," end quote. Now, the incremental decreasing began in 2018 when the town had a millage rate of 6.75 mils. And now, next budget year, they will be down to 6.4 mils. In more town of Oakland news, they are now with a special art exhibit celebrating Hispanic heritage. An exhibition featuring the works of Hispanic artists in Central Florida, including some here in West Orange County, opened to a record crowd on Friday, September 17th, at the Healthy West Orange Arts and Heritage Center at the town of Oakland. The exhibition was conceived by Oakland Town Commissioner Saul Ramos, who was elected in 2015. Now, the artwork will remain on display at the center through October 30th. Full story in this week's paper. And now in other artsy West Orange news, back to the city of Winter Garden, Tony Award winner KelliOHara will share songs and stories at the Garden Theater's fundraising gala, Encore 2021. The annual event is back with Broadway music, a silent auction, and the chance to meet the special guest. All funds raised will go toward creating educational theater experiences for hundreds of young people here in Central Florida. Now, tickets for all 199 seats are sold out, but the community has a chance to bid on some items in the silent auction. Now, this is a good way to support the cause and win some spectacular items. Not only are you supporting the arts in our community, but also the historic Garden Theater in downtown Winter Garden. More information at orangeobserver.com. This week's High Five. Number 1, Dr. Philip Swimmer Gabo Morales broke the long-standing school record in the 100-yard backstroke during the Panthers' meet Saturday, September 11th. Morales recorded a time of 52.41 to break the former record set in 1996 by 1/100th of a second. Number 2, Foundation Academy's cross-country team performed well at the Buffalo Invitational September 18th, with one of their male students, Mahari Vanderit, taking home first place. Number 3, Dr. Phillips basketball player Denzel Aberdeen announced his commitment to play basketball at the University of Florida next year. Now, the 6-foot 4-inch guard had considered schools such as Oklahoma, Georgia Tech, and Texas Tech, but ultimately chose the Gators. Number 4, West Orange High School will be hosting its inaugural Warriors Basketball Scramble October 29th at the Orange County National Golf Center. Number 5, some of the games highlighting in Week 5 of the high school football season are Windermere traveling to Kissimmee to play Osceola, Dr. Phillips going to Lake Mary, Central Florida Christian playing Bishop McLaughlin Catholic, and Olympia hosting University. Now, as always, fans can purchase tickets on the Go Fan app. Now, for the next story, we have 3 hours of comment and discussion at the Ocoee City Commission meeting. And in those 3 hours, they did not vote on their proposed pet store ordinance, which would ban future establishments from selling dogs, cats, and rabbits inside of Ocoee. This is on the heels of an Orange County ordinance of a similar nature. The store at the center of this controversy is Choose a Puppy. Now that is CHEWS, Choose a Puppy. It is the only store within Ocoee city limits that sells puppies. Now, during the over 1 hour long public comment, speakers from both sides of the debate stated their case as to why the commission should or should not adopt the ordinance. Current and former employees of Choose a Puppy spoke on why the store should be exempted from any ordinance. The store was opened in 2018 and, according to the owners, has sold over 6,300 puppies. The owners of Choose a Puppy assured the commission that they had the highest standards when it comes to working with breeders and the puppy's health. On the other side of the debate, representatives from Orange County Animal Services, Pet Alliance, and even Orange County Commissioner Nicole Wilson appeared to speak on why the ordinance should be implemented with the same language as the Orange County ordinance passed back in June. During the discussion, the issue of, quote, home rule was prevalent. Mayor Rusty Johnson and Commissioner Larry Brinson said that the commission should do what they think is right for the city of Ocoee, rather than just falling in line with the Orange County's ordinance. The commission voted 4-1 to direct city staff to meet with the owners of Choose a Puppy to discuss what regulatory oversight measures can be implemented into a potential ordinance. Commissioner Richard Firstneer was the only to dissent. He believed that the city ordinance should be the Orange County ordinance, word for word. Now, in just a moment, we're going to get to our last story, which I think you will enjoy. It's of high value and says a lot about our community. But before then, I want to introduce you to our sponsor, and this is our original sponsor, Foundation Academy. Now, in addition to having great values and principles, in my opinion, they've been doing this for a very long time, 1958. The church itself has been there even longer. Now, they serve grades pre-K through 12. They have 3 beautiful campuses, 1 great school, all Christ-centered. I encourage you to check them out. Foundation Academy, where character matters. Now, our final story is by Amy Quessenberry. And Amy always writes stories that I love. I think that she has a really good way to discover a good topic, and she always tells it very well. So whenever I see her name, Amy Quessenberry, I say, I'm going to check this one out. And it is no different for this final story. GladTidingsChurch is a missions-minded church, and the pastor and several members were able to put this goal into action when they traveled to Galliano, Louisiana, to help victims of Hurricane Ida. Now, I have a small connection to this church because it is a church I attend every Sunday with my family. Our lead pastor is an incredible human being, Pastor Gary Howell. His 2 sons are also pastors in the church, Tyler and Judah Howe. And in addition to that, there's Pastor Gabe, who did a lot with this mission. So I'm proud to tell this story on this program today. Back to it. Pastor Tyler Howe recounted the humbling experience of collecting supplies and hand-delivering them to the folks who needed them the most. Glad Tidings partnered with about 10 other churches in places such as Sanford, Jacksonville, and Northwest Florida, and raised about $36,000 to buy, among other things, 36 generators. They loaded up what would equate to 2.5 semi-loads of product. Glad Tidings has its own disaster relief team that operates out of a 12,000 square foot warehouse here in West Orange. In addition to supplies, they made hot meals for people, feeding them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They also tarped off several rooftops. Pastor Howe said, quote, "There are a lot of older homes, wood frame homes, and those homes just did not take the damage well. We talked to many people that are having to move away until they can figure out with FEMA what is going on. And what's really sad is a lot of people have owned their homes, but they did not have property insurance." Volunteers at Glad Tidings packed 3,000 blessing bags with essential hygiene products. For donations to the cause, several collection sites were set up, including at Gymnastics USA. Pastor Tyler continued on, stating, quote, "People say, 'What is my purpose?' And we have a saying, 'The need reveals the call.' God will reveal that need. We know throughout our warehouse and our ministry that this was definitely a need worth responding to." End quote. The Glad Tidings team plans to return to Louisiana at the end of September. No matter what is needed, the West Orange Church is ready to assist, living out James chapter 1, verse 27, which states, "Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world." Pastor Tyler continued, "We didn't really know what to expect when we got there. You're just giving out a bottled water or a blessing bag, and they're just bawling. We have gone through hurricanes here, and we've gone a week without power, but these people lost everything." Pastor Tyler concluded, quote, "May I not just brush over a need, but may I actually recognize that every need that is there is potentially because the Lord wants me to be there to help. It reestablishes the importance of being on mission." End quote. This church is a great church here in our community. It is amazing what good people we have here in West Orange, doing things beyond themselves in the name of something greater than themselves. I'm grateful that the people of Louisiana are experiencing love from our community. We are a good community, most especially because of good people like the people of Glad Tidings Church and all the people who have supported their mission. And now I want to thank you for taking the time to walk through this week's Hyperlocal news with me. Together, we are more informed, but I want to hear from you. I want your feedback, your questions, your ideas. Message me by visiting WestOrangeOnTheGo.com. That's WestOrangeOnTheGo.com. Also, check out our Facebook page and leave us a comment there. I want your feedback. This has been Austin Arthur with the West Orange Times and Observer. And until next week, have a happy and blessed weekend.
West Orange on the Go is brought to you by the West Orange Times and Observer. hosted by Austin Arthur. West Orange on the go.